So please welcome him with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Difficult slot after lunch because everyone had a lovely lunch, and I hope everyone is awake right now. Delighted to be here in Seoul again in TMS. When I was thinking of this topic, I was researching, one thing really stuck with me when I looked into, if I pronounce it right way, Domalmyori, the place. Has anyone been there, knows about it? Yeah. So I've been told that this is a place where your North and South Han river actually meets to form a single strong strength of river. And we know what happens when two rivers come and meet. They become a very strong force, right? And we'll get back to that, why it's important. I don't think anyone in this room would have been in marketing in year of 2000. But if you were there was nothing called digital marketing that time. It didn't exist. There was no investments done in digital marketing. There was, of course, traditional marketing. What happened over the last 2 decades or so is that it became a very strong force, right? Thanks to marketers like all of us here, we started working towards it, and slowly the investments and budgets and focus on digital marketing kept growing further, right? And it came to a stage where now digital marketing and traditional marketing almost, your spends, your budgets will be almost 50%. And not just that, all of a sudden you saw a lot of other channels which also came in. Like earlier we would have called it retail marketing, which was seen in a silo. They all started coming stronger. And what that meant was that, we now have a very strong force. We're not just having 50 and 50% of budget, but it's actually more than that, because that 50 and 50 and the other addition makes it a very strong force of marketing now. And that's what we're going to discuss about today, right? A lot of us shop online, of course. A lot of us shop offline as well, right? But we didn't realize for a long time that, online and offline are quite connected, right? When you're shopping offline, it connects to online. You see something offline and then you buy. Or sometimes you start your shopping online, you finish it in offline. And not just in the commerce world, reaching consumers has also connected, right? You build an impression or likeness for a product, and then you might shop it in a different place. And hence that evolves the connected world of consumers, right? And in this connected world, another thing, yes, we've been talking a lot about how agentic commerce will change everything. Everything is going to get online, in fact virtual, done by AI. But the stats still say that roughly around 3/4 of all influence will happen online, and 3/4 of shopping will still remain offline. We all are consumers. We like going out to shops, right? Or it's fulfilled from there. And hence, this yin and yang comes together as well. And that's why welcome to the world of, connected consumers. Hi, everyone. My name is Swagat. I'm going to talk about part of connected consumers specific to my profession at the moment, which is on digital commerce. A little about me. I spent a long time with Diageo, working on lovely brands like Johnnie Walker, Guinness, Baileys. And then 2 years back, I transitioned to Mars Snacking, which has lovely chocolates and mints, and it's part of the Mars group of companies, which also has pet foods. And along with my day job, I also like to contribute to a social cause called Dogs Trust in London, where I'm a trustee. And of course, my passion is learning and sharing in these, with my keynotes and listening to other keynotes. And that's what luckily gets me to travel, come all the way here, and share my journey here. So let's talk a bit about the shopping online bit, right? We'll again go back 20 years like we did, right? What happened to consumer attention? Consumers were earlier, there was a time when we all used to love watching a 60-second ad, or maybe, some of you not, but, a little older like me, there was a time we used to watch the TV ads and really love it as well. Slowly, we were told that, consumers' attention is keep going down. That 60 became 30, 30 became 20, 10, 15, 6. And latest, what Meta or Google will tell you is that consumer can hold attention for only 2 seconds, right? And what does that mean? We all have a goldfish attention memory now. We see something and apparently forget everything. The problem is we were only looking at half the pitch. We were only looking at push marketing because that's what we wanted to push as marketer. But what's evolved is the pull marketing, right? And what is the main reason for that is evolution of mobile has caused it. And we all swipe a lot on our phone all throughout the day. Some might be right now as well, right? And if you see as much you swipe, just to put a number, your thumb actually runs a marathon every month or climbs a Seoul Tower every month, right? That's how much we swipe. And that is a very important thing, which has made this behavior of us seeking more information. And we'll talk about specifically 3 things in today's session. The first is the user-generated or influencer content, how we trust it more, and hence, we engage much more. The second is the evolution of AI search, which we a lot of topic happening today as well. And then last concept, I'll just share that how it's all getting fulfilled as well, and how consumer behaviors are changing, right? Let's start with user-generated content, right? Some call it influencer, some user-generated, some way it's reviews. But what is user-generated content, right? It's a great marketing channel. It's been around for a while. It was measured, not that specifically, but there are multiple things. Now it's become like a force because you have influencers who are bigger than celebrities sometimes. And then you have nano-influencers who drive maybe a specific interest area or geography and who drive your consideration. The one image you see in the middle, if anyone's heard about Dubai chocolate, this is the influencer, her post made Dubai chocolate, literally. That's how Dubai chocolate came up all about, right? And then, of course, there is everyday influencers. You know who they are? They are all of us, right? We all have a creative side. We want to share, so we write reviews. And now a lot of people just don't write reviews. They take pictures, images, share as well. And hence, it's a strong marketing channel that has come up, and we engage a lot with it. But it's just not a marketing channel. It's also a sales channel. Mr. Beast, who used to be an influencer, his company is valued at $5 billion. Making a $5 billion company is a lot of sweat, so it's amazing. There are some influencers who are as big a retailer selling worth millions in fashion and cosmetics specifically, like what you see in the center. And of course, the third, which is everyday consumers like us, we all can become affiliates, right? Trying to promote products as well. And hence, this is just not marketing, it's an overall connected ecosystem. And what made it so big, right? People spend 5 times more time on user-generated content. Because what used to happen in past, you will see a brand content, an ad, you will hopefully land a message, people like it, people register your brand, but rarely you would have actually, try to drive, shopping from that. What changed with influencer marketing is that influencer marketing is all the time. They always have a call to action, right? And you watch one ad, one content, you might then follow another content, you might go back to the content, and hence, that always continuously drives conversion. If this was complicated, it's even more complicated, because this is not how consumers work, right? Consumers look at our brand content for trustability and sometimes likability. And then they connect it, associate it back to the user-generated content that they see or reviews that they read, and then they take decision. So it goes across in a very messy loop to finally get a decision out of it, right? And it's evolving further, right? Like this one.
Maltesers white chocolate, 25 by 30 grams. 5th of April date, a whole case. Thank you, Zodic.
Now, this is an example from a social commerce new platform called This and That, This That. This guy walked up, casually dressed, and in 16 seconds sold a box, and he does it all through the day. And there are hundreds of thousands of such retailers who are doing it. All of a sudden, it was not just about the influencers, and this totally reminds me of what we see every day, right? We see these street vendors every day who, and hence social commerce is going beyond. It's coming to your physical trade as well. And of course, what is same is the seller, the stock, and price. It's exactly same. What has changed? Now, all of a sudden, it's an end-to-end channel. People looking at it, some people look it for niche content, some people watch it for conversion, right? This is done 24/7, 365 days. And of course, this will keep evolving with the world of AI. Very soon, you won't realize if that person is real or it's an AI synthetic clone which is doing it throughout the day, which is already happening, actually. So social commerce or influencer is big, right? Social commerce is coming up, and just some stats and the way it's going. ByteDance, which is TikTok, is the third largest retailer in the world. Larger than Walmart, larger than Coupang. Like, it was unbelievable. They started in 2016 as a company, and today they are much larger, which is surprising at times. And they do it with 1/20th of assortment that a brand like us will keep on, a normal retailer. Because, of course, they're driven by currently trendy, niche, hero content, right? But, of course, gets me thinking, there will be a time when their assortment will be, totally full, what we do on a Coupang or a Nevar as well. Fulfillment is a challenge at the moment. The cost of fulfilling this channel is really, really high. Will that rationalize? And end of the day, probably, will it be only a sales or it will be a connected channel across? I think that's a question. The next one is AI search. Question, because it's after lunch, please raise your hand, that helps you to wake up as well. Did anyone use Google Map, any kind of maps or any search today to get in here? Yes, a lot of us did, right? And did anyone in this week use some kind of AI search, like a ChatGPT, Perplexity? Many of us, right? So yeah, half of the room, and that's the stat, that more than 50% of people are already using AI at the moment, right? So what's evolving there? There was a time that last year, same time, when I had to come here, I would have written COE on a cow map, and it'll give me COEX. And hence, it'll give me a direction, and I'll be here. What's changed now is that I'll go to ChatGPT and say that I need to get to COEX, I need to get there in a non-traffic time. I'm writing a lot more than I would have, and that's what consumers are doing. Consumers are now getting into intent. And what it'll evolve into, I know how many of us already use the voice function. So currently, it's around 3 keywords. It's moved to 15 to 30 words that we write on an AI search engine. And that's only going to increase if you start talking. And obviously, when you talk versus when you type, there is less effort. And hence, you'll obviously give much more context to your conversation, to the search. So that's going to evolve. The second thing is, what people are asking is very basic. This is an example of our mints that we do, extra gum in US. But people are asking about, is it sugar-free? What is the occasion? General information. That should be always done, right? But the fact is that no marketer ever thought, that's the job when you launch a product. That's given to someone else's job. We don't know who that someone else is, right? So hence, it is also understanding consumers, why they are searching, and then addressing it. The next thing is this whole ecosystem is evolving quite fast, right? There was a time when search went on-site and off-site. On-site is the team in your company which does like Coupang or Amazon kind of retailer. And off-site is the people who used to do Nevar or Google. And they used to never talk to each other for work. Of course, they were friends, but they never spoke about work, how it combines. That ecosystem is changing now. It's all coming together. They are influencing each other. In last 2 weeks itself, if anyone follows what's happening in the world of ChatGPT, they started an instant checkout. They've withdrawn it. That means companies like Walmart, Coupang, and all need to build their integration. So this ecosystem talks to each other now, very strongly. And hence, that's going to evolve. The second bit is, the size. A year back, there was around 1 billion prompts a day of ChatGPT. Today, it's at 2.5, right? Yeah, 2.5 billion. This is a little dated number. So it's like doubled, and we're talking billions here, which is massive, right? And the other bit is also to understand and see is that Google's normal search is still 6 times bigger, right? And same will be case of like a Nevar search, right? And hence the important thing to take is that AI search will come, but traditional search is not going anywhere. They're just going to become much stronger together. Now let's look at this ecosystem. It's quite overwhelming at times when you talk about this, but let's look at simple way, right? SEO or search engine optimization is the way we search at the moment. And that's not going to go, not every time you're going to write 15, 20 words to search something. There will be times you exactly know what you want, and you write few keywords and it gives you, like, I'll write CHO and it gives me chocolate bars, and I can take a decision right from there. Second which is coming is answer engine optimization, simple word, chatbots. Earlier they used to be a little dumb, now they're getting super intelligent more than us, right? But answer engine optimization is also really, really critical. You will see that coming. I was doing a bit of research, maybe it's a little early, but you will see Coupang, Kakao, everyone start getting their own answer engine tool, like what Amazon does on Roofers or Walmart in US does on Sparky. And that becomes your, the next level of support. And the third is your superhero friend, right? Today, if you ask ChatGPT, you don't know in 30 seconds, it tells you a little too much, right? And 80% time not hallucinating now. And hence, that's the power of generative engine optimization, where, you can literally find a lot more, do a lot of research as well, right? And that's really, this is how the ecosystem is there. And then the next thing, someone mentioned to me a few days back, and it was pretty interesting, is that the technology's role is always to bring what rich people have to the common ground. And that's what's happened throughout. So it was a good, interesting one, because they said that the rich people never shopped without an assistant, right? They always had shopping assistant. What is technology doing? It's getting that shopping assistant to all of us, right? Like the example here that you just saw, this is your answer engine, your retailers integrated to, tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and hence what happens, your ChatGPT already knows you too well. If I was looking for a chocolate, it understands what I prefer, what I'm trying to avoid, what my health conditions are, probably, and says that, hey, you're best off having a dark chocolate, sugar-free, and this is your option that you should be having. Or probably tell me that don't have a chocolate, have an energy bar or something. So hence, this is where the connected paths are coming between retailer and the world of AEO and GEO. The second one is a shopping companion, right? If anyone has the ChatGPT browser, Atlas or Comet on a MacBook, if you have not done it, try it. It's really, what you see over here is mesmerizing. You literally tell it that, can you shop something for me? I was looking for some chairs for my dining table. I literally gave that command and went. And when I came back, it had like carts made on Amazon and say that these are the options. So look, the agent is not going to do all your shopping, take the decision. You still have to take the final word if you prefer so. If you don't, you can ask it to do it. But I think that's how far it takes. And hence it becomes your shopping companion, right? And we spoke about 3 to 15 words, and then we said beyond 15 as voice comes. So let's see this.
Hi. Hi, I'm Gemini.
Hi.
How can I help you?
What do I do?
You can ask me about whatever's on your mind.
So I just talk?
Yes, but normal.
Just talk normal, and I can ask you anything.
Of course.
Anything.
Can I ask about cars?
Yes.
Tell something spicy without tasting it.
Have you tried smelling it?
Football?
I love talking football. I can also help.
So yes, voice is here already. And hence, what that means is that if we were about writing from few keywords, it moved to context writing. Now it goes beyond. We all like to talk, right? And talking doesn't take as much effort as using your thumbs and fingers, right? And hence this field is only going to increase as we go ahead, right? But what's really important is that what do we need to do and what we don't have to change, It's not that scary as it sounds at the moment, right? A lot of things is exactly what we've been doing or should have done, especially in our e-commerce platform, right? You needed great written content, you needed great visuals, you needed great reviews. That is not changing. What is changing is probably a bit of tweaking. So I've got two examples, the Starburst one on the top. If you see, your images will be now seen by a lot of these LLMs to say that, if someone is asking, about certain occasions, it'll look into images, it'll look into the text, Like what you see, the yellow highlighted one is basically building one occasion into this content. Nothing else changed. The below one is an example of an AI tool that we use to optimize our content as well. What you see on green is what has been rewritten, right? And there are not too many things. They're basically being rewritten. And the red one is what is removed, right? And hence, life is not very different in these capabilities. Of course, there are new things that's coming in. Question and answers. We never thought about giving, when we launch a product, what are the questions people will ask, right? It is so, so important now because, obviously we go to a GPT and we ask questions. So someone needs to answer. So unless you want AI to hallucinate and give answers, write the best answer that you need. And that's the new thing that you need to do. The second thing is citation, or anyone who's been SEO, we used to call backlinks, right? So when you go to a chat GPT or anywhere, it gives you a link where it picks the information from. That's citation. That's new and really critical. This is an example from what Amazon picks up, again from US. But if you see, it picks up from very niche blogs. And earlier, no one would have thought of trying to influence these blogs, right? So in a summary, what has changed is a lot is same. There are new things like question and answers. There is new stuff like your citations. And what that means is that your brilliant basics is still the hero, right? There are new sidekicks to it, like your question and answers. And of course, stay close to that PR. If you don't know who does PR in your company, figure it out, because this was never their job, and it will be so important to win the world of AI. And hence, what happened? Earlier, when we said search, people, and the world where there used to be funnels, a lot of people said funnels is collapsing in the morning. Yes, funnels are not collapsing, but of course, it is all getting integrated, right? And what AI is doing now is that a lot of product will be discovered on AI, not like traditional marketing. Of course, they will be researched online, but with so much more power. It's not about what you can infer, but what AI gives you the final answer. And of course, purchase decisions. So it goes across the channel. The third one, on-demand delivery, quick commerce, or let's say like a Coupang Eat in Korea, right? This is a very strong channel emerging in the world, right? Year on year, it's growing very fast at a double-digit pace. And there are reasons to it. It started because someone said, I need certain things quickly to me. And that's what this channel did, right? It started delivering things 10 to 15 minutes, and those were very few things. When they were doing this, what they realized is that they've created a logistics ecosystem, right? A gig economy like Uber taxis or Kakao Taxi actually does, but similar, they took the same concept and got people to say, I'll pay you per job on a, as you do. You can work through the day with me or a few hours with me. And they created a very strong network for delivery. And then they realized that the only dependency is to go buy the product from a shop or deliver it, right? And that's where in a lot of part of the world, they are actually now starting to build their own shops. They are like 7-Elevens, but without a shutter in front, but a back door, and it's not on a high street. It's in a back alley, because that's where the delivery guys go pick up the product. An example like a Blinkit in India, in I think 5 to 6 cities, there are more than 3,000 shops. They can deliver any product in 8 minutes to you, anywhere in these cities. And hence, what happened is that they're not a delivery partner, they became a retailer now. Again, going back to Dubai chocolate, I keep mentioning quite often. So this is the original Dubai chocolate called Fix It from Dubai, right? If you are in Dubai, you cannot buy it anywhere. You can buy it either in the airport, inside the security, or the other way is there's a platform called Kareem in Dubai of quick commerce where you can buy it. So this is not about convenience any longer. It's about niche shopping as well. The second is, earlier they said, oh, I need to list very few products on these platforms because this is what sells quick. But today these platforms sells to the level of a Samsung S25 or iPhone, latest iPhone. You can buy on these platforms in many parts of the world. Of course, it's about occasions. Because they know so much data about you now, they're trying to take. This is another example of a retailer back in India. As you see on the screen, on Valentine's Day, depending on if it's a single or a couple mode, it changes the whole shop. Hence, it's not just convenience. It's building that occasion into it. Now, what has happened with all this, right? They can deliver very fast. They know you. And what happens with this, what has happened across the world is that as the delivery fees comes down, you will use these platforms more. That means that you probably will use these platforms 3 times a day. And hence it knows what you eat for breakfast, when do you have your lunch, when you have your dinner, late night dinner, or when do you deliver flowers or gift to someone, right? That's the kind of data it has. That means that this has become like a media channel with different platforms like emails, notification at the right locations, taking over the whole screen to drive a special event. You can use it across. Hence, what has happened overall, right? As we knew marketing, media channels, which were about reaching consumer and not about conversion, they are now trying to go all the way. And in fact, Korea is a market where they are already have been going all the way, right? Like Nevar and Kupang do, everything, right from media to sales. Then you had your retailers who were only selling. Now they want to be a media house. Like last 2 years has been the boom of retail media, right? But what's happening now is that retailers are thinking that they can also reach, and they're doing a good job out of it. Then there are like new partners. We spoke about TikTok, ByteDance, right? In 10 years, they have come up from nowhere, and they actually are doing everything, right from reaching consumer, being the most preferred social platform for the younger generation, and then trying to sell as well, 3rd largest retailer in the world. Then you have other partners like, let's say, Temu or Shein. Probably Temu or Shein are more influential in fashion trends than a Paris or a Milan Fashion Week, because they can reach so fast and they can influence so much. And of course, then the chat GPTs of the world, Perplexity, Google getting Gemini is coming in, which is a reach channel and maybe consideration channel. They are also trying very hard to convert, right? And hence, let's go back one slide. What is happening is that this whole ecosystem is coming together, as we discussed. And what that means is that, going back to our example of the Han River, again, all these streams of different marketing are all coming together. Day to day, people still see a billboard or watch TV or read a newspaper. That's not gone. That same consumer also shops online. The same consumer also goes to a shop. And hence, when you try to influence these consumers, rather than silo, but together, you are a much stronger, shape to win those consumers. And hence, the key takeaways, of course, the first one is the joint force, right? Very often, like if you're a digital marketer, you would have struggled to build why it's important. But I think the world has changed now. Come together, get your colleagues, people who are doing shopper, people who are doing media, people who are doing PR, get them all together, because together you'll be much stronger than trying to prove why you are better than the others, right? The second is everything is connected now. In today's world, especially with AI coming, because one thing that AI also does, you have actually invested a lot of time in writing the prompt, you expect a solution, right? And hence, it is all about you're reaching consumer all the time, whatever you do, and you're converting them all the time with, a principle of no dead-end journeys. Wherever people see something, they like it, they should be able to either buy it or be interested about it, right? The third is, last 2 years was all about talking how AI will change the world. I think we are over. We heard in the morning as well, and because that's the stage. This is the practitioner stage. And I see AI now being like a salt, right? You don't go and sell in a gourmet restaurant, in a Michelin star restaurant, a dish which is a salt, right? But if that dish did not have salt in it, it won't be that great. And that's what AI is becoming. This is a year when we say, rather than what it can do, but what is it doing for us and how we can leverage it to the most. Thank you, everyone, and thanks for your time.